Hello everyone, and welcome to Earth Archives. Lately, I really can't take it anymore. Some people haven't actually done anything significant, yet their presence feels like a huge weight on my chest. It even makes me start doubting my own feelings. Am I just too sensitive? Before we start, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with anyone you think might need it.
No, it's not about you being too sensitive. The pressure you feel is actually related to what Jung described in psychology as shadow projection. The people who bother you are projecting parts of themselves that they cannot face, deny, or are afraid of onto you. So even if you haven't done anything, they treat you as the problem, and you end up doubting yourself.
It feels like I've been manipulated all this time. What should I do?
This is exactly the key. Jung pointed out that you don't need to fight them. You first need to understand yourself and integrate your own shadow. The more you deny the traits you might have, like selfishness, coldness, or deception, the more those traits in others will trigger pain, anger, or unease in you. That's also why highly sensitive people are often scapegoated by groups. It's not because you did anything wrong, but because you see truths others choose to ignore.
I see. So I should first become aware of my own inner world, so I won't be affected by other people's projections.
Exactly. That's shadow integration. When you acknowledge that you also possess the traits you see in others, you don't fall into them. You become whole. A whole person can see clearly, without bias, and without being manipulated. At this point, you become what Jung calls an awakened empath.
Awakened empath? What does that mean?
Awakened empaths are people who are sensitive yet maintain boundaries. They can deeply feel others' pain, but aren't sucked into others' projections or emotional whirlpools. Their very presence is power. They can precisely influence and navigate the human systems around them without losing their own integrity. Jung called them psychological architects because, like architects, they design their own mental space and shape the psychological structures around them.
So you're saying I don't need to argue or take revenge, I just exist, and that's enough to protect myself?
Absolutely. This is the core power of an awakened empath. Existence itself is protection. You don't need to attack or argue. Your wholeness and awareness alone can deter manipulators. Once you are no longer controlled, they naturally step back, and healthy people are drawn to your sense of security and learn to grow alongside you.
In daily life, when I encounter toxic people, how should I act?
There's a Jungian protection strategy I've summarized into 6 steps. 1. Trust your intuition. Your inner feelings are more real than any projection. Your sensitivity isn't a curse. It's a finely tuned perception developed over years. 2. Don't try to convince them. Projectors are immune to evidence. The more you explain, the more they feel they are right. 3. Limit information exposure. Every piece of information you share can be used as material for their unconscious projections. 4. Document interactions. Keep records of conversations or events to prevent them from distorting facts. 5. Seek external perspectives. Let trusted people help you calibrate reality, preventing isolation from overwhelming you. 6. Withdraw when necessary. If they display multiple warning signs, a strategic retreat is safer than blind confrontation.
These 6 steps sound really helpful, but sometimes I just feel so exhausted, like I'm constantly dealing with other people's emotions. How can I maintain inner calm?
The key to staying calm is shadow integration. When you acknowledge that you also have those traits inside yourself, you won't be dragged around by other people's projections. It's like putting on an invisible shield. The more whole you are, the less influence others' projections have over you. When you feel irritation or anger, first ask yourself, is this my feeling, or is it being projected onto me by someone else? This simple awareness helps you gradually learn to control your emotions rather than be controlled.
What about those self-inflated people who always think they're right? How should I deal with them?
Jung calls them ego-inflated individuals. They are completely blind to their own shadow and see any disagreement as evil or rebellion. Any attempts to reason with them are ineffective. In these cases, you still follow the same approach. Don't engage, don't try to convince them, limit your exposure, and withdraw if necessary. Your goal is not to change them, but to remain whole yourself.
If I do all this, will I become cold or lose the ability to love?
Not at all. Awakened empaths never lose the ability to love. They simply learn to fiercely love themselves as well. Their love has boundaries and depth, and it is not controlled by manipulators. In fact, when you learn to protect yourself, you can love others more freely because you're no longer disrupted by unconscious projections.
How would these strategies work in the workplace or at home?
In the workplace, if a colleague intentionally provokes you or spreads false rumors, you can choose to stay calm, avoid arguing, document the incidents, seek external perspectives to confirm facts, and withdraw temporarily if needed. At home, if someone frequently emotionally manipulates you, the same strategy applies. Maintain boundaries, limit exposure, and ensure you're not psychologically controlled. This way, your very presence becomes power rather than vulnerability.
So the way I exist itself can influence the people and environment around me?
Exactly. Jung calls this the empathic purification effect. Awakened empaths don't need to blame anyone. Their presence alone reflects the truth. Toxic people retreat because they feel exposed, while healthy people grow because they feel safe.
Hearing this makes me feel ready to start practicing. Trust my intuition, limit exposure, document interactions, withdraw if necessary, and most importantly, integrate my shadow.
Absolutely. Your sensitivity isn't a weakness, it's your weapon. Starting today, trust yourself, set boundaries, integrate your shadow, and become an awakened empath. You don't need to change anyone. Your presence alone changes the world.
Everyone watching, remember to subscribe, like, and share this with anyone trying to protect their self-esteem. This is truly worth keeping.
Exactly. Remember, your very existence is power. Master this power, and you can become a true awakened empath, living fully and wholly as yourself.